Hello and welcome back to Bullying Martin. Sorry, what's the channel's name? Today, we're picking a completely random bot to checkmate with castling. Oh, look at that, we got Martin. My plan is to play aggressively in the center, and I think I've decided that I'm going to try to castle long, but that might change throughout the game, which means that I won't be able to move my king, obviously, and I won't be able to move my queenside rook. I'll start with d4. That's a very safe move. That's kind of my plan. We're met with d5. We'll continue development like normal. Martin is prone to mess up. I just have to make sure I don't get checked in a manner where I have to move the king or recapture whoever's blocking with my king. We get f6. We'll continue development. We're met with queen to d6, and we'll just pick up the free queen. Very nice. Feels good to capture, yeah, especially when it's the queen, right? We'll play e3. This dark square bishop is the only one that can really put us in danger of check and then having to block, but he's restricted by the d6 pawn. So we'll play c3 to make this knight completely null. We get bishop to d7, and since we are at material, we'll go ahead and trade. All right, recaptures with a6, and I'll finish my development by bringing my knight out. I say finish my development because castling isn't in the books until the very end anyways, so we'll play queen to e2. Maybe we can hit this a6 pawn. We get c5, which doesn't do anything about the a6 pawn and doesn't actually cause any problems, so we'll go ahead and capture. You're playing well there, my kids coach you. I've read that line so many times from the number of times that I've played against Martin. I'll go ahead and capture on a7. We get bishop to c8, and I'll play queen to a8, hitting the rook and hitting the bishop. King to d7 is basically the only move that defends both of those, and Martin plays neither. So we'll go ahead and take the rook. I guess the rook was defending the bishop. I misspoke there. Now I have to think, but now it's definitely not, so we can pick up the bishop as well. Once I've basically cleared him of all of his pieces, I can go ahead and put his king where I need it to get that long castle checkmate. We'll play h4. I'm still fine with playing with this rook as long as these two don't move. We'll play knight back, hitting the g4 pawn with the knight and the queen. We get f5, actually defending the pawn. We'll play f3 to force the issue. And Martin actually pushes all the way through, which is really pretty decent play on his part. We'll play knight to f1. This pawn definitely falls now. We get bishop g7. We'll hit a little intermediate check. So now he moves his king out of the way, and it's our turn again. We recapture on g3. Looking for that f5 pawn now. Bishop to f6 doesn't do anything about that, so we'll go ahead and capture. We'll recapture with the queen, pinning the bishop. And so far so good. Haven't had any reason to move the king or the rook, which again against Martin sounds pretty easy peasy, but I will say I've recorded this twice now and somehow messed up both times. I'll recapture with this pawn because I don't want to open up this file by accident. I guess I should have taken this bishop with intermediate check. But Martin is generous and gives us the chance to do that anyways. We'll play check, hitting the rook. We will sack the queen. And I actually haven't moved either one, so I can still castle in either direction. Martin bragging about getting a queen. All right, buddy. We'll play b4, a4. We'll just pawn storm him. He won't be able to stop both of these pawns. We'll push. And we'll push. And push. And then all we have to do is maybe it's actually easier to castle short and get this checkmate. We'll see. I'll probably pick up both queens if I can do so comfortably, which there's no reason for me not to. Yep, there they are, both queens. I have to make sure not to stalemate him by accident in this process. Think carefully, you might have checkmate soon. Don't worry, buddy, you're not getting checkmated quite yet. I want to do it in an extra fancy way. I think I might actually do it to this side, because it's going to be a lot harder to clear all of these pawns to castle long and give checkmate, so it'll probably be easier to do it king side, and I'll just push this pawn forward. I'll push f4, and hopefully he'll take it when I move it to f5. Take my pawn, please. Martin, I'm trying to give you a free pawn. Please take it. Martin, I'm not negotiating, buddy. You need to take my pawn. All right, let's just do a waiting move. Okay, finally he takes it. And how do I actually set up this checkmate? Let's see. Queen here, king here, check, king back, would definitely walk into checkmate, but he has the option to move his king to h6. Maybe I should do queen to g8 first, then king to e7. Ah, yes, then check, then king back, and then it's forced checkmate. Very nice. So we'll play queen to g8. I guess he could play king to f5 too, but he doesn't. He plays king to e7. We'll give that check. Can only move to f6, and checkmate. Very nice. All right, if you guys did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing. If you have other video ideas, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one.